Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Street Fighter 6 video. You guys seem to be loving it on the channel, so I will continue to be making them. Maybe that's what it's like to be a content creator. But the new video that we're reacting to isn't necessarily a person that I watch who got early access, right? Like the Roofamongers, the Kizzy K's, the Jay Wongs, the Maximilian dudes. No, this is somebody that goes by the name of Gaming Bolt, obviously with a 1.2 million subscriber, right? They have a huge following, and I think that medias like this who put fighting games obviously on their front, their front page in a way, saying why Street Fighter 6 may be one of the biggest games of the year is huge for Street Fighter 6, because obviously there's a bunch of casuals who maybe tried Street Fighter 5 but didn't like it. And I'm sure this video is going to go over about all the single player content in Street Fighter 6 that a person who maybe doesn't like playing ranked or as competitive is able to enjoy, as well as everybody who used to play Street Fighter in the past, coming from Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Third Strike, or I guess there's Third Strike, the 09ers playing Street Fighter 4, and obviously people returning from Street Fighter 5. I think this video is doing the series justice, and I'm super excited what they have to say. If you're super excited, make sure that subscribe button, comment down below, leave a like. Let's get into the video. Of course, follow their channel, leave a like, subscribe. Tell them I sent you. Got some normal gameplay. It's on HD. It is. Why Street Fighter 6 may be one of the biggest games.
The fighting game genre has gone through a renaissance. There's been a wide range of releases, including Guilty Gear Strive, Tekken 7, Mortal Kombat 11, Soul Calibur 6, and many more. It's hard to
Samurai Showdown.
when
There's
so
Tekken
many
8.
fighting games started to release, but the future looks even brighter with the likes of Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 12, and yes, Street Fighter 6 releasing in the coming month.
So that's super important to realize, as well as Street Fighter 6 is going to be one of the first next-gen games coming out. Very similar to how Guilty Gear Strive came out, and then Melty Blood came out, and then King of Fighters came out, right? Guilty Gear Strive kind of rejuvenated people's interest in other fighting games. I think Street Fighter 6 might do that with Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat 12, because people are looking at Street Fighter 6 being a fun game, and like, well, maybe I'll try out Tekken 8. I never played Street Fighter, but Street Fighter 6 was fun. I never played Tekken. Tekken 8 looks fun. I never played a Mortal Kombat game. Mortal Kombat 12 looks fun. I used to play Mortal Kombat. They go boop, 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 right back when Heavy Punch was just this. But so I think Street Fighter really has that going for it as well. I mean,
Capcom's Fighter is the most interesting, not just because it's out soon, June 2nd, but because of how things have changed.
It is out soon, less than a month.
Yoshinori Ono, who served as producer for the series up to Street Fighter V, is not involved, having left Capcom in the summer of 2022. It's the first game to run on RE Engine and releases on current-gen consoles, though a PS4 version is also coming. More importantly, for a
which is bad. I don't like that. I'll say myself, PlayStation 4 is outdated. It might ruin the online experience for other people if your PlayStation 4 is overheating in the middle of a match. Granted, it's not everybody's financially blessed, to where they can upgrade to next gen consoles, because people obviously have bills, kids, and medical bills, probably, a lot of other things. So PlayStation 4 version might be needed, but my own bias is I hope it was on PS5 or better. I know Tekken 8 is doing that. Don't know about Mortal Kombat 12 because they have yet to announce it, but the PlayStation 4 version perfectly fine. I mean, if it runs perfectly fine, then does not bother me playing on PC. But if you notice that you play a PlayStation 4 person, loading times are longer, then it gets kind of annoying.
Flagship Capcom franchise.
That's just me. I'm not a hater.
Since Street Fighter V's disastrous launch, the sequel has this air of electricity about it.
That is true. Street Fighter 5 launched terribly. Good stuff.
When Street Fighter V released in February of 2016, it was rife with problems. Finding a match online was near impossible due to server issues. Furthermore, the amount of content was suspiciously thin. Arcade mode was nowhere to be found.
When Street Fighter 5 came out, there was no arcade mode, and I believe there was also no story mode. There was there was no single player content. So, and as he said, finding a match was already bad, so there's no single player content, and the multiplayer don't work. What the hell else does a fighting game have to offer? Training mode?
And the fact that it was trying out some new monetization for earning new characters, regardless of how it turned out later, didn't sit well due to all the other problems. Street Fighter 6 is a different story. Right out the gate, it embraces the street culture and fighting scene that
does.
defined the series from the beginning.
It's very
The art
nice.
style is vivid and
I
stylish,
play the demo.
with
It's very nice.
graffiti-like flourishes and bombastic particle effects in each fight. More importantly, it's taking a holistic approach to what Street Fighter means to everyone. When Street Fighter II first launched, no one could have predicted its impact. It was revolutionary, one of a kind, spurring a mad rush
I played Street Fighter Kid as a kid
and pretenders.
when it came to
Future
like
classics like
PlayStation
Mortal
2
Kombat
as a
to
remake.
Killer Instinct would emerge to cash in on its success. However, Street Fighter means something different to every person. Some view it as a way to jump in and beat down an opponent using flashy moves and combos. Maybe you'd button mash through fights or learn a few moves to carry you through.
So the another thing about this, right, is he's talking about like mashing, and I think he might cover it. If he doesn't, then I'll cover it for you. Is obviously Street Fighter 6 has been making very high hints that modern controls are nice to play on. Not saying they're better to play on. I mean, we'll have to wait to see, but that modern controls are made to be simple so everybody can understand them, and so you can still enjoy the game, as well as dynamic controls, so you can give your grandmother the controller and she can even hit you with a combo, because the game registers that even if she mashes one button, it's like, hey, I'll do a combo for you. Like, sit back and just, and watch her eyes glow up as she talks about how she played Street Fighter 2 in the arcade as a kid. Tear runs down her eye. She hugs you. She says you're the best grandson. Slides you a $20 bill.
A popular mainstay in arcades, it was a way to kill time, compete against some incredible
Also, the character
players,
creation
or
is
even watch
super good.
matches play out. Over time, it's evolved into a competitive sport where timing, combos, parries, and more are just the beginning. Not everyone plays it for the same reasons. Capcom has recognized this and designed Street
Weird
Fighter
pauses
6
in
to
between
appeal
his
to all
talk.
kinds of fighters. The three main modes, which sound more like fundamental pillars, explain it best. Fighting Ground is where you go to, well, fight. It's your all-in-one description
for Rama B,
versus,
baby.
casual, ranked, and the new extreme battles, which throws in various crazy modifiers. Whether you're looking for...
Which is what Mortal Kombat had, right? With the test your luck. And dude, let me tell you, when I was a teenager playing MK9 and MKX, and they had test your luck, and I had friends who didn't play fighting games, it was a great way to kind of even the playing field if they got good modifiers and I had, unable to block and getting shot by a missile every 6 seconds. And then them beating me and saying how trash of the game I was. It really does help the dynamics with game modes like this, because as you know, if you play fighting games and your friends don't play fighting games, they don't want to play with you because you always win. So this is a good way to tip the balance into where you can still play with friends if they choose to get the game.
Or want to jump into the extensive training menu, this is where you go to fight. World Tour is more of a career mode where players customize
Mortal
their
Kombat
fighter
Deception,
and
if you ever
chart
played
path.
that.
Train with
Shujinko,
different
baby.
fighter icons to
You're
learn
basically
moves,
Shujinko.
explore the
Because
environment.
Shujinko also learned moves from his masters. My Shujinko had Scorpion Spear in Deception and Sub-Zero Ice Ball, which means I was CCing you like crazy in
For
combos.
secrets and fight with a random opponent to prove your might. Maybe you'll find someone more skilled and
Fighting
take
a
beating
washer.
before climbing back up to win. It's a nice spin on the World Warrior theme, especially since you need to earn money through minigames. You will eventually traverse the world in search of stronger opponents. Finally, there's the Battle Hub, which captures that feel of a futuristic arcade.
Yeah, it's
There
super
are
nice.
tournaments, cabinets to fight or spectate
The
other
the
players
music in
at,
the background's
good
kind of sleep,
score
though.
lists, and even
Hopefully you can
classic
change that.
arcade games like Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Final Fight to pass the time. Throughout all fights, you can enable real-time commentary, which pulls from 8 different commentators like Jeremy Vicious Lopez, Eru, Thea Trinidad, and James J. Chenser Chen. It brings a level of hype
Japanese
matches
and
that
American.
mirror the
Super
likes
nice.
of Evo and sounds amazing. All this would matter less if the battle system or the online match quality, which has rollback netcode and crossplay support, weren't up to standards. The latter is still up in the air, but the gameplay mechanics have been nothing short of impressive thus
They're
far.
really good.
The
Dude, they're
launch
good.
roster has
They're slightly balanced, right? I know, like, Guile was super strong during the beta. But, I mean, technically, Guile wasn't strong if you just parried every Sonic Boom. Because people kept being like, oh my god, he chips my drive gauge. Then use your parry. Use the game mechanics to get around it. Like, I think the game's going to really flush out in the later, maybe midway towards the end of Season 1. I think the game's going to be at a level that nobody even thought of at launch.
18 characters, and each have their own unique style, whether it's DJ Sway or Manon's use of judo and ballet.
I'm playing Manod. It's Manod. I'll let you slide on that one.
As long as you have the meter to spare.
I'll let you slide.
Absorb an attack with drive impact and deliver a hard-hitting blow that can knock opponents against walls. Unleash an EX special move style attack for more damage with overdrive, or use drive reversal to counter an attack. The return of super arts, with each character having
oh my god, they had to show that
available when you're low on health, is also great. There's just so much room to play around with the mechanics, and it's
they can show Cammy's level 3 too.
Fighter tenets. If that weren't enough, there are multiple control types.
Oh,
like
he is talking about it. Okay.
Which automatically unleashes combos based on your position, or modern for performing moves without extensive button inputs. There are limitations for dynamic. It can't be used in online play or all fighting ground modes. And though modern control sounds nice, they won't provide finer control like the traditional 6-button layout will.
Okay, this guy's good.
Great way to usher in new players.
Yeah,
whether they want to get in some quick fights without learning everything all at once.
Whoever's doing this interview is doing this review is doing a great job.
We've talked about a fighting game renaissance, but Street Fighter 6 feels like a reinvigoration
classic outfits
for the franchise. It simultaneously pushes new combat mechanics and features while retaining the classic feel and values that appeal to longtime fans. The characters all look incredible.
Guile was dead there, just say no.
Kits, to say nothing of the production values behind their visuals and animations, is something to behold. It all feels like it comes together in a way where nothing feels lacking, unlike Street Fighter V. It's a given that Street Fighter 6 will be one of the biggest games of the year based on sales alone, even with other heavy hitters like Final Fantasy 16 releasing in the same month. The long-term
I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't think Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy are going to be anywhere near the same when it comes to sales, personally. I mean, being a fighting game lover since as long as I can remember as a kid, learning combos. Fighting games always, the numbers aren't the best, but the community is very strong. I would say when Street Fighter 6 comes out and Final Fantasy comes out, you're looking at maybe 40K to 50K. Depending if Maximilian dudes online, then maybe 80K for Street Fighter 6 on launch day. But then when Final Fantasy comes out, you're looking at maybe 200 to 300K on Final Fantasy launch day. You've got like Asmongold and Maximilian dude and all these other content creators playing Final Fantasy on day one. Like the numbers ain't gonna. That's the one place the FGC lacks, which is kind of why a League of Legends person is gonna win millions of dollars, but a fighting game player has to get first just to pay for their flight back. Granted, Capcom is doing great with the $1 million for Capcom Cup, but that's one person. Where League of Legends is, 5 people, maybe 6. I think maybe they have somebody on the bench in case a player gets sick. 6 people getting guap.
Is harder to predict. Who knows what kinds of new features or balance changes Capcom could introduce that make the game better or worse.
That is true.
However, for the first time in what feels like
they can always add a third mechanic
base to build off of. One that showcases why Street Fighter is such a hallowed franchise. It's truly the start of a new era.
Because they got rid of V shift, so maybe they can add back. Now it'd be drive shift. They can add back drive shift if grapplers seem too good.
And that brings us to the end of the video. A quick request before we conclude. We upload new videos every single day, and if you like what we are doing, please consider subscribing.
Hey, wait a second. Why Street Fighter 6 may be one of the biggest games of the year? Why Final Fantasy 16 will be one of the biggest games of the year? Wait a second. Is every game the biggest game of the year? No, all jokes aside, this video was really great. I don't know who did the did they say who did it? Who presented it? Because he did a good job. Credits written. Okay, is it? Okay, so this guy wrote it, which means he probably knows a lot about fighting games. This guy kind of threw out a lot of old footage. So maybe he's not updated, or maybe the video got made before a bunch of content creators dropped a lot of gameplay. And maybe this guy's just reading from a script. Overall, great video. Go subscribe to Gaming Vault, leave a like, tell them I sent you, and maybe they'll have me on. Probably not, but you never know. Never give up on your dreams, kids. I want to be on Gaming Vault. That would be kind of cool. That's the end of the video, though. So thank you, everybody, for tuning into this late. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate all of you who are enjoying the Street Fighter 6 content. Subscribe. Comment down below. Leave a like. Street Fighter 6 content will be coming out soon, right? When June 2nd hits, where I'm going to be back in tournaments. So hopefully I perform well, and who knows, maybe I'll get a collab from a top player. Maybe I'll become a top player, and then you can collab with me. But thank you, everybody. I hope to see y'all again in the next Street Fighter 6 video. See ya.